Can I see you a minute, please?
¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome to the Wednesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday. Welcome. Itchy and Scratchy, how's everybody? I'm hanging in there. Greetings from Northeast Pennsylvania. Welcome. All right, folks. We've got a few headlines to go through. Oh, I didn't even bring them up. Got a lot of news today. Yeah, we definitely have a few things to cover. That's good to hear. Happy Santos Day? True. We'll talk about that. All right, here we go. Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania would also likely lose hundreds of thousands of jobs apiece if there's a breach of the debt ceiling. We're gonna make a small coverage of that. We're gonna make a small coverage of that. Hacker convention. I have not ever been to a hacker convention, but that would be cool. Also, before we get started, a few thank yous to the folks who hit the follow button. Thank you, Zeno. Ask 3 Logic, Twistadoc, and Loopy Mike. Thank you for the offline follows. I appreciate that. All right, folks, we got to get some headlines going. I am hungry, folks. Whew. All right. First things first, some good memes. So let's start here.
I spend all day, every day, combing through the news, going to every possible website I can, looking for stories, paying attention to what's happening in the world. You know, for this channel, for the Ring of Fire channel, for America's Lawyer, for the Ring of Fire podcast. I got a lot of things happening, so I'm constantly reading the news. But I say that to tell you this.
Ali with another 14 biddies. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Every now and then, I miss something. A story that is super important slips through the cracks, and this is one of those stories, because this is not a breaking news story. This is a story that actually came out on April 20th, 2 days after Fox News settled their Dominion Voting Systems defamation lawsuit for $787 million.
Is this a Smartmatic one?
2 days after that settlement was reached, a shareholder at Fox News filed a lawsuit against 4 Fox News executives, including owner Rupert Murdoch and his son, Fox President Lachlan Murdoch,
for
screwing over investors. Now, this is a big one, because according to this lawsuit, the lies told by the network that were allowed to be spread by those executives, again, including Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan Murdoch, cost these shareholders potentially millions of dollars. They cost them Tucker Carlson, which in turn could cost the network millions of more dollars. It's going to cost them millions of more dollars in the Smartmatic lawsuit, all because this lawsuit says they allowed these lies to go out on the air that ultimately cost them all this money.
Right.
Now, typically, these shareholder lawsuits are very difficult to win. But in this particular instance, what has already been revealed from the Dominion Voting Systems law...
Yeah, like, normally, you know, defamation lawsuits are incredibly hard to win, like, as is. And the fact that Fox News decided to settle is quite telling. And now they're facing another lawsuit from their own shareholders. Nice. Funny how they didn't mind it when they were telling lies. Making them money. Yeah, of course. I mean, Rupert Murdoch and these, deposition or testimony, whatever you want to call it, said that it's all about making money. They don't give a shit. They never gave a shit. The truth wasn't really an issue. The truth wasn't a factor here. It was whether or not line goes up. The truth is secondary. Whether or not, like, it is or it isn't doesn't really matter to them. Until it touches their pocketbooks. Fox News having a bad day, more fun for us. I don't know if it's about fun. It's more like exposing how dishonest and how willfully malignant these people have been to spreading all this misinformation. Particularly with the election.
Lawsuit is going to work in the favor of the plaintiffs here. Because what happened was we have deposition video of Rupert Murdoch himself saying, I wish we would have stepped in sooner to stop the lies. And then other Fox News executives admitting that, well, it was good for business at the time.
Right. That's exactly what Sharpie Diesel pointed out. The whole point at which Rupert Murdoch admitted was about money.
So you have them in a deposition, a sworn deposition, saying we should have done it, but we chose not to because we were making money off it at the time. I don't want to say case closed at this point, but it kind of seems like case closed, right? When you have those executives making these decisions to not step in, knowing full well that their network is spreading lies that could eventually get you sued, and they choose not to, then the resulting losses are their fault.
Right.
Now, the liability here is obvious. Yes, Rupert Murdoch, Lachlan Murdoch, the other executives did allow this to happen.
Yep.
The tricky part for this lawsuit, because again, like, you already know who's responsible and you know they've admitted it. So that part is easy. The question is, are they responsible for the later financial losses? Did they know they would get sued? You know, I'd like to think, yeah, they knew it.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that they were essentially gambling and getting as close to that line as possible, and then like allowed it to go too far. I guess they essentially memed too close to the sun.
But they couldn't have guessed the extent to which they'd be sued by Dominion and Smartmatic. They never could have guessed that they'd have to pay out $787 million. So this lawsuit is not a slam dunk. It may seem like it, and I think it's got a really good chance of being successful. But at the end of the day, if you can't prove that these people made these decisions knowing it was going to cost the company money, then you don't have a winning case. And right now, all we have in terms of the evidence...
I mean, like, also, I wonder what, if this is even going to affect the Smartmatic defamation case. Because if they can show that they didn't know, really, I don't know if they can try to weasel their way out of that. Who knows?
Evidence is that, yeah, they allowed the lies to go on the air, but they did that so that the shareholders could make more money, not less money. So this is an interesting one. And again, this suit was filed weeks ago, 2 days after the settlement. It's one I missed, and I'm pissed that I missed it, because this is a big one to me. So not only does Fox News still have to face the Smartmatic lawsuit, which I guarantee is going to end up bolstering this shareholder lawsuit. But then after that, then they're going to have to go to court and face the shareholder lawsuit. So lots of bad things happening to Fox News, including the fact that they are losing viewers left and right. So it's a bad time to be Fox News.
I mean, allow me to show you the world's smallest violin, but yeah. Wolfglen, how's it going? Oh, this is a suit by shareholders? Yeah. Geraldo claims that he was canceled from the 5. Yeah, I mean... Also, really quickly, thank you to the offline YouTube subscriptions. We're at 229. Thank you. Doing well. Awesome. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
And it's probably going to get worse as the months drag on. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know...
Cute dog. Alright, good memes. Good memes, and I hope Fox burns for that. All right. So, the right wing has been twisting themselves into pretzels, attempting to either claim that this is some kind of psyop, claim that, you know, how could someone of Hispanic or Mexican, more accurately, background be a white supremacist and all this other stuff. They've been performing Olympic levels of mental gymnastics. But we have even more evidence of the claim that this dude was a Nazi. Not that we needed any more evidence, but just to kind of keep putting the final nails in the coffin, right? The gunman posted a chilling video online of himself in a scream mask moment before he murdered 8 victims in a horror mass shooting. Did he kill a white guy? He killed 8 people. I don't know if they were... I think like they were of different races. Tario Proud Boy? Yeah. Tario, who's Cuban, I think, had the same patch, the Right Wing Death Squad. Yeah. Getting unpopular, lies not working after 2020. Well, with them it still works. With the base, the lies, the truth doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. Anyways. On Saturday, the gunman showed a video showing himself removing the mask and asked, "Not quite what you were expecting." The video appeared to be his final message among a trove of Nazi-related images, hate-filled rants against women, racial minorities, and posted to the run-up sentence. Run-up to the massacre. Police confirmed on Tuesday that the online account, which was reviewed by The Independent, did belong to the mass shooter. The neo-Nazi mass shooter. The mass shooter bought a stash of 8 legally purchased weapons to Allen Premium Outlets, whatever, where he opened fire. This is the mall. To Allen Premium Outlets on Saturday, where he opened fire and on shoppers and employees. He had 3 weapons on his person and 5 in his vehicle. 8 people were killed, including 3 children. So how are we gonna how are we going to justify this one? How are we gonna justify this? Explain to me how the right wing is gonna have to like explain this one. Photech redeeming a dab. All right. Well, I'll do a proper one. I'll do a proper dab, okay? There's a dab emote too. There you go. So I really want to know what the explanation, the justification is here for continuously attempting to run cover, because that's what it is. The right wing has been running cover for this neo-Nazi, which begs the question, why? Is it perhaps because we're getting a bit of a Freudian slip here? Right wing death squad is political, not about race. The right wing death squad is a political thing. Yes, I didn't say the right wing death squad was about race. He was a white supremacist or neo-Nazi. This is such low effort attempt to justify a neo-Nazi. Like, I mean, are you really gonna defend a neo-Nazi? Because the dude was a fucking neo-Nazi. You can try to twist yourself into pretzels all you want, but the fact of the matter is, it says more about you than anything. You have no point, and this is why nobody watches you? Cool, hey, listen, let me help you. Fucking piece of shit. What a fucking piece of shit. Imagine not even being able to like denounce this. There's literal fucking video evidence and photo evidence that this guy was a fucking neo-Nazi. Fucking scum. God should intervene. Too many atheists. Mental health instead of solving these 200 mass shootings. Yeah, we've had over 200 mass shootings, yes. And like the fact that, I mean, I'm telling you, the right wing right now is literally in fucking desperate fucking PR damage control. Because like, why else would you need to fucking go to this length? Imagine having like coming in here and making the comment like, oh, right wing death squad is political. Yeah, dude. That's not a good thing. So what? Right wing death squad. That's pretty unambiguous. Okay. So for those of you that don't know, that supposedly has ties to Central and South America, because it was an anti-left. It was an anti-left thing, you know, kill your enemies. Right-wing death squad. It was an anti-left thing in Central and South America, which no shit. That's why you see people like Enrique Tarrio, a fucking fascist, and part of leader of the domestic terrorist organization, the Proud Boys. That's why you have people like this neo-Nazi wear those symbols. That's who they are. And the fact that you have to twist yourself into pretzels is exactly correct, Bipedal. Like, it's more telling about you than anything. Nobody ever said, and just, yeah, Peru, Pinochet, yeah. Like, and just to be clear, like, nobody has said at this very moment, until we find more information, nobody has said that the shooting itself was racially motivated or was motivated even by it wasn't motivated by any political it wasn't motivated by any political ideology. What we are saying is that he was a fucking neo-Nazi, and this is another far-right mass shooter. And he was a fucking neo-Nazi. And Nazism, one could even go a step further, basically is a very violent ideology. So one could estimate, like, yeah, no shit. These are the kind of people that do these things. Nobody has said in any of these articles, in any of these stories, that this guy was racially motivated. That was never a factor here. So far. George Santos pled not guilty and refuses to resign after the indictment. What a fucking clown. Also, to the pieces of shit who are trying to, like, twist themselves into pretzels, why? If you are not, if you're not a neo-Nazi, if you're not like a far-right neo-Nazi, why need to twist yourself into pretzels to try to make, like, the most, like, mealy-mouthed excuses that weren't even, like, these are things that nobody has ever said. The right-wing death squad is political. You have no point. Yeah, okay, dude. Continue to defend, like, this Nazi shit. Wild. Imagine coming to the defense of a fucking neo-Nazi mass shooter. Amazing. Amazing times in 2023, the year of our Lord. Massive self-reports. A real weak desert sauce, maybe. True. Amazing. I point out the simple fact that the guy was like, we have even more evidence, like, before the incident of him being like a fucking neo-Nazi. And, like, damn, these clowns come out of the fucking woodwork to defend him. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Just to touch up on the debt ceiling. If the U.S. defaults on its debt for the first time ever, tens of billions of dollars in Social Security benefits, federal salaries, payments to Medicaid, providers, and veteran benefits, and more could be at risk. The Bipartisan Policy Center, a think tank that specializes in predicting X date for when the government officially can't pay its bills. All right, listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're coming here to join your buddy in like the troll factor, the troll brigade over here, I recommend to find another place. Okay? Just saying, you're not gonna have a good time. Just print more. Yep. Except that's not what the debt ceiling is about. But okay. Fuck off. All right. X date when the government can't pay its bills. On Tuesday, the U.S. could default on its $31.4 trillion debt between early June and early August, jeopardizing payments to millions of Americans and businesses. Its latest dire projection delivered hours before President... Like, imagine coming in here with the most, like, childish understanding of how this works. That's not even how the debt's... Like, what the debt ceiling is about. But on top of that, like, yeah, I don't know. We've had enough trolls. We got to get through this. Normally, I would play with my food, but nah, I don't know if I have the patience. The latest dire projection delivered hours before President Biden and congressional leaders meet at the White House follows Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's warning last week that the nation could run out of money as soon as June 1st, dramatically shortening the timeline for lawmakers to lift borrowing cap, even as two parties remain deeply at odds over how. Well, Republicans are going to be the ones at fault here. While it's far, like, this is such a dishonest, like, framing in a sense, because, like, it's the Republicans who are holding this shit up. Anyways, while it's far from certain how exactly the Treasury Department would handle a default, including whether it would prioritize certain payments or delay paying for the government's bills, the think tank noted that about $50 billion in Social Security benefits are set to go out in the first half of June, in addition to more than $20 billion in payments to Medicaid providers, $6 billion in federal salaries, $12 billion in veteran benefits, and $1 billion in SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps. Hey, Heat, how's it going? And those hugely significant payments are just a few that could be affected, the Bipartisan Policy Council cautioned, and don't represent an exhaustive list of all cash flows on a particular day. The Biden administration has already dismissed the untested idea of paying some bills but not others, arguing that it would be unfair to average Americans, cause widespread economic disruption, and prove logistically impossible. A more likely scenario in the event of a default is that the Treasury would choose to delay all bills, waiting until there's enough revenue to cover all payments for any given day. Wilbur's Jolly Jester, thank you for the follow. The think tank's new projection piles further urgency into Tuesday's debt limit meeting at the White House, despite slim prospects for a major breakthrough between Democrats insisting on a straightforward hike and Republicans pushing for major concessions in return for their debt votes. What remains unclear is whether the Treasury Department can limp along paying the bills until June 15th, when quarterly tax receipts would provide a cash infusion and likely stave off default through the end of next month. So a couple of weeks after that? Oh, man. We're doing great, folks. If Treasury can hold off a default until the end of June, it would be able to tap into about $145 billion in new extraordinary measures, buying the government a little bit more borrowing power into the summer. The coming weeks will offer more clarity about whether Treasury can make it to mid-June and give Congress and White House a longer ramp to negotiate a debt limit deal. Jesus. Why are they trying to sell me a motorcycle? Okay. I still don't know. I still don't think now is the time for panic, but it's certainly time to start getting concerned. Akaba said, noting that the Treasury is skating on very thin ice next month due to low cash flows. The Treasury cash crunch that could cripple the U.S. economy in the coming weeks stems in part from a disappointing tax season, mixed with the delayed tax filing deadlines for residents in states like California that sit in designated disaster areas. Yes, there's talks that the 14th Amendment can be used to kind of bypass this nonsense. Although that's being contended, I guess. Sorry, I didn't answer your question. Itchy and Scratchy, I don't remember exactly what city in Texas the incident that incident happened. Yeah, let me see. I think it was Fort Worth. Allen, Texas. Okay. Sorry, it's hard to keep up. Other estimates point to its potential debt catastrophe in early June, which is, what, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks from now? Cool. Underscored the considerable variability in the X date will remain until perhaps just days before the U.S. officially would default, thanks to the often unpredictable nature of federal cash flows. After Yellen issued her warning last week, an independent Congressional Budget Office also sees it as a significantly greater risk that the Treasury will run out of funds in early June. Mark Zandi, the chief economist for Moody Analytics, told senators during a budget committee hearing on Thursday that the X date could fall on June 8th. He added that Yellen's early warning of June 1st is also very possible, as is a best case scenario of August 8th. So 2-something months. The distress signal from government and outside forecasters have done nothing to jumpstart the talks between the White House, which is insisting on a clean debt limit increase, and Republicans who are demanding spending cuts in exchange for lifting the borrowing cap. The Biden administration has refused to negotiate, vowing to keep government funding on a separate track. A number of Republicans aren't feeling the pressure either, viewing Yellen's early June prediction as nothing more than a political ploy aimed at squeezing the GOP to swallow a clean debt hike. Well, they have to, because, I mean, they're going to be the ones responsible for this. Akaba said Yellen's warning is consistent with how Bipartisan Policy Center is analyzing the situation, however, noting that no risk is too small a risk to flag. Quote, yeah, I don't think she's playing games, Andy concurred in an interview last week. Experts say that financial markets are starting to signal trouble ahead amid the debt standoff, particularly among yields and short-term Treasury securities, and those cracks will only start to worsen as the country lurches closer to the limit. The U.S. is also at risk of another credit rating downgrade, a painful consequence of the debt ceiling standoff that gripped Washington more than a decade ago. Pressure from the markets is what may ultimately force action. I don't think lawmakers will act until they're pushed by the stock market and bond market, saying, if you guys don't do this is what's going to happen. Zandi said there's going to be a lot of red on the screen, a lot of 401ks are going to be diminished, and there's going to be a lot of angry people. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of angry people, as long as people understand that this is the Republicans' fault, then yeah, they should be angry at them. Quite frankly, I don't think the Republicans care. They think that they're negotiating from a position of strength. And the fact that they're playing with people's Social Security, Medicare, like veterans benefits, all that, the fact that they're playing with it, with that, ghouls, fucking ghouls, to to use that as a political political football. But yeah, they're playing with people's people's livelihood and benefits. Like this isn't like a game. It affects real people. It affects real people, and these fucking ghouls don't give a shit. 401 hey, religious free K, 401ks have already been getting wrecked. Yeah, well, if nothing gets solved here, then yeah, it's gonna be even worse. If we hit the limit, the president does not have the power to pay some debts. He has to pay no one. Right, this will be solely on the Republicans. Doesn't Congress have the power? Doesn't the legislator have the power of the purse? The GOP just wants chaos and blaming Biden. Right. Well, yeah, they don't care. They don't care as long as they can paint this as a political win, then so be it. I just said the national debt wouldn't be so high if it weren't for weapons manufacture, price gouging, a military, with a blank check and billionaires paying effectively no taxes. I wonder how much lower. Yeah, I mean, so Democrats wish to increase the debt ceiling, and has been done throughout history, but Republicans are blocking it as a political tactic. Yes, the TLDR to make it as like reduced down as possible. Yes, that's basically what's happening. The Democrats we have to raise the debt ceiling. But because Republicans control the House, essentially they're trying to use it as leverage because we have to get concessions. Has the debt ceiling ever been hit before? Yeah, I think so. They've had to raise it several times. I mean, like, Congress can also just say, like, we don't have a debt ceiling. Congress can just eliminate that. I think, like, we're the only country that does this, I think. We're the only country that does it this way. One other does too. Is it Canada? Oh, Sweden. Gotcha. My bad. Fake news. There are two countries that do this. Answer my noob question. There is no historical precedent for the U.S. government passing X day and breaching the debt ceiling without Congress raising or suspending the debt. Nevertheless, it's a broad consensus amongst economists that such an event would generate an entirely avoidable economic catastrophe. Yep. Yeah, love that emote. Well, to be fair, like, they're not printing money necessarily. The whole argument is whether or not we could borrow more money, because the debt ceiling, from my understanding, is the country's ability to borrow, right? Gotcha. Okay. Mostly correct. All right, I'll take it. The U.S. in debt. Name a more iconic duo. True. Trump raised it 4 times in military and space wars. True. It's one of the main factors in terms if the U.S. has worthy credit. Yes. Trustworthy credit. Yes. I should go for now. Take care, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. The simulacra, the giant military, is a major factor in determining if the U.S. has good credit. True. I got free granola today. Nice. Yellow King, how's it going? How are the two related? Well, if we have any issues, then if we have any threats to the U.S. dollar or the essentially U.S. power, then we will free the ever living shit out of you. Yeah. If the military looks like it's in decay, it shows the U.S. can't maintain or protect itself. Yeah, essentially, if you threaten the dollar's position or the U.S.'s economic hegemony, you will be you will be freed. The United States will come and implement its foreign policy on you. You'll get Gaddafi'd, exactly. Nah, because I think that would, isn't China the hypothetical biggest threat to US dollar hegemony? But they're also more or less like, their conventional military is, not something I think we really want to go head to head with. If we don't have to. I'm trying to more research on US debt limit if President Biden can executive out of this dilemma. I don't know. I don't think so. Because if not, we wouldn't even be having these conversations. If the president had like a sole if the president had like a executive order that could kind of take reins of the debt limit, the US, the limit that the country can borrow and has, no, he doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that power. This is solely and strictly on the legislature's, I mean, the president can like recommend. The president can be like, "Hey, you guys should probably do this," and I'll sign it. But it's really the legislature. I don't think there's you can executive order your way out of this. We have $1 million balloon busters. We good. True. Yes, Conscious Canuck, but they also help keep U.S. well, mostly help keep U.S. power, because of the petrodollar. Biden also did not rule out eventually invoking the 14th Amendment, an only untested approach that would seek to declare the debt limit unconstitutional. Doing so would require litigation. Yeah, but like, it's not something that he can do unilaterally, and who knows if he can do it, which is the whole point. Like, it's untested. I don't think he can unilaterally make that decision. Nor do I see like a conservative Supreme Court like even allowing something like that to fly. Echo Wrestle Dragon, how's it going? Alright, let's do some meme news, alright? Because this is just rich, alright? This is a tweet that I'm kind of co-opting from Globus. You should follow Globus _the_elder on Twitch. But this is some good memes. They would disregard Congress and keep paying bills. The Republicans would then have to take it to the Supreme Court if they won. If they won, then recession. Gotcha. witch hunt today. George Santos charged by Justice Department in federal probe. 13 charges. Federal prosecutors have filed criminal charges against Republican New York Representative George Santos, a Republican lawmaker who had an astonishing pattern of lies and fabrications, stunned even hardened politicos, according to 3 sources familiar with the matter. Santos, who was taken into federal custody earlier this morning, is expected to appear at federal court in New York's Eastern District. He faces 13 federal charges, 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of theft of public funds, and 2 counts of making materially false statements, to the House of Representatives. Jesus. The congressman's attorney declined to comment. Spokespeople for Brooklyn U.S. Attorney Office, the Justice Department, and FBI all declined to comment. Santos was en route back to New York Tuesday, skipping House votes for the evening. Damn, dude. He didn't even do his job that day, according to a source familiar. A spokesperson for Santos, Nisa Woomer, would not respond to shouted questions from reporters Tuesday afternoon and abruptly departed Congressman's D.C. office with her backpack when asked about the federal charges against him. Prior to her departure from office, CNN witnessed 3 staffers for Santos abruptly depart with their bags. They wouldn't talk when pressed for comment. The freshman congressman who was elected, and it's so hilarious, because McCarthy let this guy in thinking that he was going to help with the very thin margin that he has as it is. And it turns out this dude might get yeeted out of Congress or be taken out of commission anyways because he's facing indictments. The bigliest meme is the other Santos news. What other Santos news? Republicans and the deplorables who vote them in. True. He sponsored one of the laws he's being charged with? No. Oh, man. Oh. He sponsored the bill he's being charged with, the law he's being charged with. Oh man. Imagine being this Santos guy. That would suck. I mean, you know. Good memes. The freshman congressman who was elected last year to represent a district that includes part of Long Island and Queens has been under investigation in multiple jurisdictions by the House Ethics Committee. Top Democrats joined by New York Republicans have been calling on Santos to resign over allegations ranging from criminal behavior on campaign trail to petty personal dishonesty stretching back for more than a decade. A career con person. Amazing. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said that he will look at the charges before determining if he thinks Santos should be removed from Congress. Bro, really? Oh, man, dude. Republicans really have absolutely zero principles. Zero. None. None exist except power. That's the only thing these fuckers believe in. Amazing. I'll look into the charges, McCarthy said. Santos was spotted by CNN in the Capitol earlier on his way out and in and out of McCarthy's office. The speaker did not say the speaker said he did not know why Santos had been there, and the congressman had not told him personally about the charges. During his brief time in office, Santos has been accused of breaking campaign finance laws, violating federal conflict of interest laws, stealing cash meant for Iraq veterans, an Iraq veteran's dying dog. Wow, what a fucking scumbag. What a fucking scumbag. I mean, like, literally only a Republican can do this shit. Seriously. Like, imagine, like, the Republican Party being all about, like, the troops and whatnot, like, this, like, nationalistic bullshit, and then, like, does shit like cut veterans, benefits, tries to prevent them from getting, like, the healthcare that they need, and, like, this Republican literally stealing cash from an Iraq War's, veteran's dying dog. What a fucking scumbag. Literally only a Republican can go this fucking low. No, it doesn't sound bad. It is bad. He's a fucking scumbag. Jeez, what a fucking piece of shit. Masterminding credit card fraud and lying about where he went to school and worked. Santos admitted to making some misleading claims. No, CNN, not misleading claims. Lying. False claims. They were lies, not misleading. Lies. Because something can be sort of true, but if you say it in certain contexts, may be misleading, but some of the parts may be true. He's just lying. Like, none of that was true. None of the stuff that he said about his background was true. He's a fake, true. Alternative facts, exactly. About his education and financial status, but continues to deny the more serious allegations. During his victorious campaign last year, Santos ran according to the Republican midterm playbook, hammering his Democratic opponent over crime and inflation. The message resonated in New York suburbs, where GOP candidates flipped 4 seats on their way to winning a narrow House majority. Unreal. How does it feel for falling for a fucking con man? How does it feel for fucking voting for a piece of shit who literally stole cash from an Iraq war's, who literally stole cash meant for a veteran's dying dog? How does that feel? Because Santos and Gates and Marjorie Taylor Greene and McCarthy think they're on a crusade to own the libs. Well, yeah, but also it's about power. The U.S. House of Representatives won by gerrymandering the maps. Yes, it was a factor. Yes. Yes, that's also a factor. If Santos can win like that, so can Trump in 2024. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. There is a possibility, albeit how big or how small is another argument. But yes, there is a possibility that Trump can win, which is the whole point of me bringing up that poll from 2 days ago, I think. Santos could become a target of an unemployment fraud bill he co-sponsored. House Republicans have made rooting out unemployment fraud during the pandemic a legislative priority. Little did they know that one of the bill's co-sponsors, Representative George Santos, would become a high-profile target. Good meme. Man, can you imagine if they get him on that too? But as Santos' past came under closer scrutiny, with large chunks of his official biography revealed to be conjured from nothing, he increased. Yeah, again, this was completely fabricated. It's not misleading. It's just fake. It's just false. He increasingly adapted the persona of a right-wing troll. I mean, he is. But okay. He played up support for President Trump and once claimed that Democrats were trying to ban toilet paper. Jesus. These fucking communist Democrats trying to ban toilet paper. I'll tell you. That was reported by New York Times. No, oh, okay, gotcha. Not CNN. Gotcha. New York Republicans have sought to distance themselves from Santos. Why? Why? That's your guy. Insisting they knew nothing about his shadowy past and some repeatedly urging him to leave office. Yeah, dude, the classic Trump defense. I've never heard of this person. I didn't know. Okay. I reiterate my call for George Santos to step down. New York Representative Mike Lawler said in a statement, Lawler flipped the Democratic-held seat in north of New York City last year and is expected to face a serious challenge in 2024. Republicans from more conservative districts were less explicit. New York Representative Nicole Malliotakis told CNN, I'm not surprised. I understand this is where he was headed, but Stort, I understand this is where it was headed. So you knew and you had no principles. You're just like, yep, this is fine. The Republican Party basically endorses this kind of shit. The fact that the Speaker of the House didn't do anything speaks volumes. They endorsed this shit. They're fine with this. I would love to see someone new run because I can tell you that we will hold that seat, and so the sooner Santos leaves, the sooner we can get somebody in there that is not a liar. In the Republican Party, oof. Representatives Ryan Zink of Montana and Blake Moore of Utah pointed to the House Ethics Committee probe of Santos. Let the ethics investigation play out, and if it produces anything, then he should be removed. Bro, he's being indicted. Zink told CNN that if there is a charge and the charge is veracity, in the ethics committee, I guess, it should be looked at. They should, the ethics committee should look at it. Arkansas Representative French Hill, who's close to House GOP leadership, said he wanted to see the charges, but added, I do believe that if a member of Congress is charged with a federal crime, they should resign. So why not remove him if he's not resigning? I don't understand. Democrats, meanwhile, are attempting to shake off the embarrassment of not exposing Santos sooner ahead of what promises to be an expensive race to win back his and other neighboring seats in 2024. Now that Santos has been indicted, it is incumbent on the Speaker of McCarthy to eliminate the stain of Santos and on this hallowed institution by removing him from Congress immediately. So New York Representative Daniel Goldman, a former federal prosecutor and counsel in Trump's first impeachment, has said in a statement, we cannot wait any longer. The House Ethics Committee, what do they actually do? Right now, waste time and resources. Right now, wasting time and resources. What they're supposed to do is, investigate if there's any ethics violations being done. The cracks in Santos' facade first made national headlines. Although to be fair, I'll give them this. They are investigating Santos at this time, supposedly. The cracks in Santos' facade first made national headlines in late December when the New York Times published a long investigation that questioned large chunks of the personal story he sold to voters during the campaign. What followed, though, was often stranger than fiction. A seemingly endless string of new revelations ranging from allegations that he stole a dog from an Amish dairy farmer to his own past claims, all false, of playing high-level college volleyball. Yeah, I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me if this dude stole that dog, given the fact that he stole cash from a veteran's dying dog. I mean, and the fact that he's like a complete fraudster and thief wouldn't exactly surprise me if that ended up being true. What I'm trying to say is I would believe it. As the stories piled up, that's what I mean. The congressional ethics could probably be written double spaced on the eighth area of a napkin. Yep. As the stories piled up, former friends and associates of Santos began to come forward and share stories claiming he had ripped them off or misled them about his financial and professional situation. A former roommate of the congressman told CNN that earlier this year that Santos showed signs of delusions of grandeur during their time living together. The truth has finally come out, said Gregory Parker, who also accused Santos of stealing his scarf, an allegation like so many... a scarf, okay, that Santos denies. I mean, he's a thief, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. The charges do not, from a legal standpoint, affect Santos' status as a member of Congress. Nothing in the Constitution requirements for congressional office bars individual under criminal indictment or conviction from serving, except for the 14th Amendment prohibitions for certain treasonous conducts committed after a member has taken an oath of office. Under the former rules of the House of Representatives, according to a Congressional Research Service report, an indicted member may continue to participate in congressional proceedings and considerations. So, like, is this motherfucker gonna, hold votes in jail? I can't imagine that looking phenomenal for McCarthy, right? Under the House formal rules of the U.S. House of Representatives, according to a congressional blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yes, they can. An indicted member may continue to participate in congressional proceedings and considerations. Quote, there are none. Yep. However, there are rules and ethics that you're supposed to technically follow in the House, but yeah, as we've seen, it really doesn't matter. However, if a member is convicted of a crime that would result in a punishment of 2 or more years in prison, they are instructed under the House rules not to participate in votes on the floor or in committee votes. I mean... it says that they're not supposed to, but whether or not Republicans would even follow this is yet... I mean, who knows? McCarthy, when asked whether he would continue to stand by Santos, told CNN that his policy is that a member of Congress should resign after being found guilty of charges, and referenced former GOP Representative Jeff Fortenberry, who resigned after being convicted of concealing information and making false statements to federal authorities in connection with the probe into illegal campaign contributions. Just like we had before with... oh yeah, just like our other Republican corrupt person. He had the same ability. I removed him from committees, but he was found guilty and I told him he needed to resign. But that is my policies and principle on this. Yeah, operative word, should. What if he doesn't, McCarthy? What if he doesn't? The voters have spoken, true, as Santos casts his vote for Republicans in jail. All right. Yesterday, somebody in here made a mention of this story. So I guess we should go over it. Remember, he has already launched his re-election campaign. Yep. Oh, come on. Hold on, folks. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to work out. Register for us to freely sell your data. Correct. To which I say no thank you. MAGA Senator Tommy Tuberville disgustingly defends white supremacists in the U.S. military and says, I call them Americans. Tuber claims that we're losing in the military so fast because Democrats say that we need to get out the white extremists and white nationalists. Apparently, he thinks our armed services should be teaming with neo-Nazis. Now, coincidentally, white supremacists always vote Republican. Yes, but can we get a video? Can we get a video of that? Because, like, basically what he's saying is, like, yeah, dude, we should have, like, neo-Nazis in the military. Nothing could go wrong with that statement. And defending them by saying they're, quote, Americans? Yeah, find me an article or a video, because that's, whoo boy. Yeah. If that, like, is he a state senator or a, hold on. Nope, he's a U.S. senator. Wow. Damn. Yeah, if you can find a article or video, that would be phenomenal, because holy yikes, it's getting more and more these people are the whatever thinly veneered mask that they had is like, oh, is completely just like gone. So brazen to be like, yep, I'm just gonna defend neo-Nazis. Like, I guess that's a thing that we're doing now. Least intelligent person has said it. Gollum? Oh god. Alright. Well, if you can find it, that would be great. Malinopolis caught in Marjorie Taylor Greene Kanye West campaign scandal. Yep. Alt-right agitator, no, let me correct that. Nazi Milo Yiannopoulos used a credit card for Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene campaign last November to purchase an internet domain for Kanye West's still unannounced 2024 presidential bid, and he was reimbursed for the domain transfer by the West campaign the same day for $3,000 above cost. Yeah, see, I'm not like a lawyer, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that there's some funny business with money here. The receipts match the federal election commission filings from both campaigns. Those filings show that on November 22, Greene campaign reported a $7,020.16 expense to the GoDaddy hosting service for, quote, domain registration and hosting. That same day, the Kanye 2020 committee reported paying Yiannopoulos $9,955 for the domain transfer. Legal experts told the Daily Beast that the transaction raised a number of questions, including about possible theft and conversion of campaign funds to personal use. Yikes. According to the receipts, GoDaddy billed Greene senior advisor Isaiah Wortman for $7,020 and 16 cents purchase of the yay24.com domain on November 22nd. The person with direct knowledge of the event said Yiannopoulos oversaw a transaction with the Greene campaign card, but the person did not know whether the Greene campaign was aware at the time of the expense. So, like, if that's true, and big if, because, like, she has done this with so many times, like, oh, I'm not aware of Nick Fuentes' ideological beliefs. Yeah, whatever. But assuming that she didn't know, or the campaign didn't know, this guy stole their card and then bought the domain to sell back to Kanye for a $3,000 profit. The transactions occurred the same day that West, now known as Ye, infamously dined at Mar-a-Lago with the former president and white supremacist neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, who had been advising Ye throughout the rapper's highly publicized Hitler-loving meltdown. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. But yeah, I mean, if you're going, like, on a tirade about, like, how much you love Hitler and shit. Yeah, you might be a Nazi, so think about that for a second. Like Nazi Kanye West, Nazi Nick Fuentes having a dinner with ex-president Trump. Wild. Yiannopoulos has taken credit for arranging the Mar-a-Lago evening, told the Daily Beast that multiple media reports placing him at the dinner were inaccurate. He did not personally attend. Ye fired Yiannopoulos after a provocateur, neo-Nazi, told NBC News that he orchestrated the dinner with the notorious Fuentes to make Trump's life miserable, but the disgraced hip-hop mogul rehired him as political director last week. Jesus. The transactions are coming to light after Ye's latest treasurer, Patrick Cranston, resigned on Monday, the second treasurer to jump ship within 6 months. The last 6 months. A leaked internal email first reported by Politico shows Cranston expressing concern that Yiannopoulos had submitted falsified invoices for expenditures that would have been deemed unlawful. And the receipts were first published on Twitter by far-right activist Laura Loomer, though another fucking fascist, though the Daily Beast obtained them from a different source. Treasurers carry personal liability for the accuracy and truthfulness of each report they submit to the government under penalty of law. Grasson declined to comment for this article. The Green campaign did not immediately reply to a request for comment. Is that a new game? You might be a white supremacist? I mean, like, yeah, dude, I don't know. If you're, like, out dining with fucking neo-Nazis, then I don't know, man. I don't know. Brendan, yeah, like, this goes back to the clown who was here earlier in chat. To the fucking, like, Nazi defender that was here earlier in chat. Like, I don't know, man. If you have fucking swastikas and you have, like, the SS symbol tattooed on you, I don't know, man. You might be a fucking Nazi. If you're going on, like, fucking rants, filming yourself, making fucking, like, Nazi rants, I don't know, man. You might be a fucking Nazi. Brendan Fisher, a campaign finance law specialist and deputy executive director at Watchdog Document, told the Daily Beast that if Green campaign paid for Kanye's web domain, that's an excessive and unreported in-kind contribution to his campaign. Uh-oh. Fisher also noted if Yiannopoulos charged the Green campaign's card without the campaign's knowledge, then he may have committed a range of serious violations, including potentially causing Green's campaign to file false reports with the government. Paul S. Ryan, a campaign finance expert and deputy director of the Funders Committee for Civic Participation, told the Daily Beast that Ye's campaign purchase of the domain would appear officially establish him as a candidate for election, since the expense exceeded the $5,000 spending threshold that triggers a registration requirement. While Ye has in recent months used the context of his 2020 campaign to court media attention around a potential 2024 run, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars while raising none, he still has not declared his candidacy or registered with the FEC. Yikes. Ryan also pointed to a 2018 FEC ruling in favor of MAGA rap metal star Kid Rock, in which a commission rejecting the agency's own internal legal analysis dismissed similar allegations. The decision cited in part Rock's claims that his Senate candidacy was part of an artistic and commercial undertaking to promote a new album and tour. But Ryan also raised the question whether Yiannopoulos had converted Green's donations to personal use. The law is broadly understood as preventing candidates from converting funds to their personal use, but the plain language of the statute suggests that this ban applies to anybody, not just the candidate. This is arguably Milo converting Green campaign funds for his own personal benefit and for a profit on top of that. Was Milo stealing $7,000 for the Green campaign for his benefit? I mean, you can legally do so much shady shit if you just properly set up a super PAC. True, but these fucking Nazis can't even be like bothered to even do it. They're so fucking incompetent. They can't even be bothered to do it the right way. Jordan Leibowitz, a communications director for government watchdog Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, quote, "This one's a new meme saying a new meme." A new one for me, saying the transaction appeared fraudulent and possible criminal violation of personal use ban. Yeah. I mean, I think we get the gist of this. It's a good meme, and I hope Yiannopoulos and Marjorie Taylor Greene get torpedoed because of this. It's a good meme. It's a good meme. And hilarious that this guy allegedly stole or he temporarily borrowed Marjorie Taylor Greene's campaign card to make this purchase. All right, on to a more serious story. A U.S. senator, Republican, of course, because only Republicans do this shit, Tuberville rises to defend of racists in the armed forces. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alaska offered an unusual criticism of Biden administration in a radio interview this week. Oh, Alabama. Oh, man, Alabama. All right. I'm gonna take the L on that one. Not Alaska, Alabama. All right. I'm gonna take the L on that one. I guess AL would be Alaska. No, AK is Alaska, right? Vietnam veteran constituent of Representative Boebert pens a letter torching her for introducing a disgusting bill to make the AR-15 the national gun of America. This was old news, though, right? Who uses 3 letters for states when we've got 2-letter standard? Yeah, this was confusing, okay? That's why I got confused, but I'll gladly take my L. Offered an unusual criticism of Biden administration in a radio interview this week. We, quote, our military and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin put out an order to stand down and all military across the country, saying that we're going to run out the white nationalists and people that don't believe how we believe. He told NPR affiliate, and that's not how we do it in this country. I mean, like, do you know the 3 branches of government? Tuberville doesn't. Not surprising. He's a Republican. So, wait. Are we just doing like a self-report? So like this country isn't about making sure that we get rid out of. So this country is about like racism. Is that like the tacit admission that we're getting here? Because that's what he's saying. If we're making an effort to remove these dangerous people from our fucking military because they are a national security issue, and your response is that's not how we do it in this country, the implication is we are a white nationalist nation. Yikes. He was asked if white nationalists should be allowed to serve in the military. They call them that. I call them Americans. Jesus Christ. Oh man, this guy just keeps digging. So here we have the Republican Party, essentially. Because, like, let's be honest, this is not exactly a controversial talking point for them. It just gets controversial when the quiet part gets said out loud. But yeah, so basically, his response to should white nationalists, which are incredibly dangerous people, a threat to national security, overwhelmingly the most the most responsible for like domestic terrorism in this country, like overwhelmingly, like it's not even close. Far-right white nationalist groups are not only the most persistent, but the most lethal threat when it comes to domestic terrorism in this country. This is not new, by the way. This is not new, and it didn't change regardless of the presidency when they did this evaluation in the last administration. In fact, the last administration admitted such and even tried to downplay it. But here we have Republican senators saying, that's what they call them. Well, if they are white nationalists, then yeah, that's kind of a problem having them in the military. Given the fact that we just saw, the incident in Texas, I would say them being in the military is an incredibly dangerous issue, national security issue. And he, of course, says, no, they're Americans. Okay, but should they be in the military, though? Tuberville was elected to the Senate with President Trump's support in the 2020 election. Yeah, so like the president is supporting this guy, and this guy is like running defense for like white nationalists. The president has also been having dinners with fucking neo-Nazis. I don't know, man. I don't know. Even before taking office, Tuberville pledged to oppose electors cast by states that Trump lost. I mean, here we have, further evidence that this was, that this election, that Republicans attempted to coordinate the overturning of the election, because this guy's like, yep, I'm going to not vote, regardless of who the winner was. In an effort to slow or block Joe Biden's ascension to the presidency, in this interview, he appears to have embraced a different aspect of Trump-adjacent rhetoric, that Biden and his administration are trying to villainize the right as being riddled with racist and domestic terrorists. Well, damn, dude. I don't know, man. Why? Why is that? Take like 5 seconds to have some introspection, right? Especially the recent events. Take like 5 seconds to have some introspection, and ask yourself, why is that? Are we the baddies? Yeah, dude. Always have been. It's just that he got it backwards. Instead of suggesting that decent, hardworking Americans were being cast as racist, he's suggesting that racists are simply decent, hardworking Americans. Exactly. The idea that Biden and Austin, by extension, are using accusations of white nationalism as a cudgel was a central part of Tucker Carlson's rhetoric back in Fox News days. Immediately after Biden's inauguration, Carlson highlighted a portion of the new president's speech in which he, obviously alluding to the riot insurrection at the Capitol 2 weeks before, swore to uproot extremism. Biden promised to confront and defeat the rise of political extremism, white supremacy, and domestic terrorism that the country was seeing. The question is, Fucker Carlson was saying, is what does it mean to wage war on white supremacists? Can somebody tell us in a very clear language what a white supremacist is? Oh man, Tucker. Oh man, you're not missed. You're not missed. Oh, you're not missed. You could run a batch of Lindell's My Pillows on the Republican ticket and they would win because they don't have any of those communist machines in them. True. True. Can somebody tell us in a clear language what a white supremacist is? Bro, really? You are not fucking missed. Quote, Joe Biden is the president of the United States, not a high school debate coach. He controls the largest military and law enforcement agencies in the world. He now has declared war. And we have a right to know specifically and precisely who exactly he has declared war on. I don't know, Tucker. You looked in the mirror recently? Innocent people could be hurt in this war. They usually are. There could be collateral damage in this war, and the casualties will be Americans. This became a centerpiece of Carson's rhetoric and the rights more broadly. Participants in the insurrection were depicted as victims of political targeting, with Carlson going to great lengths to suggest that they were set up. Anyways, in his comments, blah, 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 yeah, like, okay, yeah, domestic terrorists. All right, cool. In his comments to WBHM, Tuberville drew the same connection with January 6th, saying the left has saying that the left said that all these people that came into the Capitol were extremists. They were against the country. I mean, yes, by definition. More broadly, Tuberville's comments tapped into even the older idea that the left used racism allegations as a cudgel. Particularly since the emergence of BLM movement, many on the right have portrayed race-centered criticism as a rhetorical cheat, an attempt to prevail in a debate by slapping the label racist on an opponent. This sense contributes to and feeds the well-established sense of white insecurity that is at the heart of much of the support for Trump. But again, that's not what Tuberville said. He said that white nationalists, definitionally, people who believe in building a white ethno-state, deserve to be heard, and suppressing their views and involvement in the military somehow contrary to core American principles. So then, in his belief, then this country does then this country does support these views. Because why else would they be contrary to the core American principle? Which, if that's the case, question, Mr. Tuberville, what are the core American principles? What are the core American principles? Allowing white nationalists in the military? Allowing violent, genocidal, ideologically driven people in the military? That's what's core to this, to the American principle? Damn. I think you're saying a lot about this country if that's the case. This is, it's safe to assume, a minority position. In a statement provided to Alabama-based AO.com, Tuberville's office sought to clarify his statements. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Senator Tuberville's quote is cited shows that he's being skeptical of the notion that there are white nationalists in the military. But there are. That's why we're engaging in this exercise, to remove them to begin with. Even the military wants, hierarchy wants these asshats out of the military, but until they can do something that can get them discharged, they can't do anything. Right. He believes the men and women in uniform are patriots. Secretary Austin seems to think otherwise, subjecting them to extremist training as his very first act. Well, I mean, you can be subject to extremist training so that you can be weeded out if you're a white nationalist. And no, not necessarily every person in uniform is a patriot. Not necessarily. Sometimes people are doing it because they have no other choice. Not that he believes that they should be in the military, so then we should weed them out? This, you'll notice, is the preferred direction of rhetorical arrow. Austin and the Biden administration are accusing average Americans of being sympathetic to racism. This offense is made trickier ever by Tuberville's history. At an event for Trump in Nevada, he equated the beneficiaries of potential reparations for slavery, that is, black people, with criminals. They want crime, he said of Democrats. They want to take over what you got. Oh boy. Yikes. They want to control what you have. They want reparations because they think that people that do the crime are owed that. When Tuberville was elected in 2020, black Alabamians voted heavily for his opponent, incumbent Senator Doug Jones. Ashley Babbitt, yeah, the truest patriot of the patriot of patriots, Ashley Babbitt. In his interview with WBHM, Tuberville claimed that the military was having trouble hitting recruitment targets because Democrats are attacking our military, saying that we need to get out white extremists and white nationalists and people that don't believe in our agenda. No, the problem with hitting recruitment is because people don't want to be a part of that. And again, if you are not a white nationalist and you don't support white supremacy, why would you care if we're trying to root these fuckers out? A recent Pentagon report warned that white nationalists and the other extremists sought to recruit members of the military, and that while numbers are low, the presence of such extremists were a potential threat to national security, which is exactly what I said. That completed... Damn, that was completed in Trump's administration. Yeah, I mean, like, damn. People are getting wise to what the military really represents, yep. And lo and behold, they don't want a part of it. All right. I think we have enough time. So I'm gonna just kind of go through this really quickly. Pressure builds as North Carolina is set to override abortion ban veto. With time running out to convince lawmakers to withdraw support for an abortion ban recently passed by the state legislature, advocates in North Carolina are intensifying their pressure campaign with protests and pleas to legislators. Demonstrators rallied in Raleigh, North Carolina on Sunday to denounce the passage of SB 20, a new measure that bans abortions after 12 weeks by Republican legislators. Only Republicans, okay, folks? Like, only Republicans are doing this. North Carolina's Democratic Governor Roy Cooper has vowed to veto this measure and is expected to do so in the coming days. Although Republican lawmakers currently hold a veto-proof majority, advocates are hoping to use the time before the bill returns to the legislature to convince lawmakers to change their minds. Only one Republican would need to vote against it to override and sink the bill. Pay attention, folks, because this is important. The reason why we should pay attention to this is because state and local politics matter. So if you live in the if you live in North Carolina, or you know somebody that lives in North Carolina, spread the word. It only takes one Republican to torpedo this bill. It only takes one Republican for like 5 seconds to do the right thing. Even GOP governor wants to veto it? No, this is a Democratic governor. Me, it ain't happening. Yikes. North Carolina is red now. Like they're not one of them is gonna budge. Yikes. Well, direct result of Republicans winning in power, I guess. This is what happens when Republicans win elections, folks. Republicans win elections, people lose bodily autonomy. Republicans are going to stand together and not veto. Maybe if they close ranks. If everyone please Mole, then they can override that veto. That veto, yeah. I'm willing to bet most of the state representatives never read a single page of that bill. Probably not. They're just like, oh, this is an abortion ban? Fuck it. The only good thing is that we still have the governor position. Yep. Really quickly, California to pay $24 billion settlement to the family of a man who died in police custody. Not completely orange yet. California will pay $24 million in a civil rights settlement to the family of a man who died in police custody after screaming "I can't breathe" as multiple officers restrained him while trying to take a blood sample. Yeah, seven California Highway Patrol officers and a nurse were charged with involuntary manslaughter earlier this year in connection with the 2020 death of Edward Bronstein, age 38. Anila Dawodan and Eric Dubin, attorneys for Bronstein's young children, said it's the largest civil rights settlement of its kind by the state of California and the second largest nationally, since the city of Minneapolis paid $27 million in the George Floyd case. The attorneys were scheduled a news conference in Los Angeles for Wednesday to provide detail. The settlement comes amid renewed scrutiny of potentially fatal restraints following last week's deaths of New York subway rider Jordan Neely, who was placed in a chokehold by a U.S. Marine veteran. Bronstein's death also echoes that of Eric Gardner, a New Yorker put in a chokehold by police in 2014, whose dying words were "I can't breathe," which became a chant in protest against racial injustice. Both Gardner and Neely were black. The L.A. County coroner said Bronstein's death was caused by acute methamphetamine intoxication during the restraint by law enforcement. Bronstein was taken into custody after following a traffic stop on suspicion of driving under the influence. On March 31st of 2020, he died at a highway patrol station in north of downtown LA, less than 2 months before Floyd was killed by police in Minnesota, as he too repeated officers, "I can't breathe." It's so messed up. Hold on, folks. Wouldn't share a tear if I saw this disgusting fascist pig being treated the same way. Yeah, I mean, like, they don't give a shit. Sorry about that. When announcing the criminal charges in March, LA County District Attorney George Gascon said the highway patrol officers failed Bronstein and their failure was criminally negligent, causing his death. A nearly 18-minute video showing the officers' treatment of Bronstein was released last year following a judge's order in the family federal lawsuit alleging excessive force and a violation of civil rights. Family members have said Bronstein was terrified of needles and they believe that's why he was reluctant to comply with CHP initially as they tried to take a blood sample. Police abuse is a microcosm of what fascism will be like. Yeah, that's a good point. The video filmed by the sergeant shows several officers forcing a handcuffed Bronstein to a mat on the floor as he shouts, "I'll do it willingly, I'll do it willingly, I promise." He continues screaming as 6 officers hold him face down. The lawsuit alleged they put their knees on his back and pleads for help. Jesus. I mean, the next kind of stuff is like really, really fucking dark. So, TLDR, he stopped breathing. And it took them like 11 minutes after he stopped screaming to begin CPR. Yeah. In a statement, CHP Commissioner Sean Dury extended condolences to the family and said he would respect the judicial process. His officers didn't immediately respond Tuesday for the request for comment. I mean, like, yeah, you don't give a shit about the judicial process. Clearly. Clearly. So don't, you can fucking spare me with that shit. You can spare me with that shit. In September of 2021, Gavin Newsom signed a law barring police from using certain face-down holds that have led to multiple unintended deaths. Yeah, whatever. The bill is aimed at expanding the state's ban on chokeholds in the wake of Floyd's murder. 24 million. I mean, like, what is it gonna take? Is like the fucking 24 million gonna have to start coming out of these fuckers' retirement? Or like, I don't know. There have been like arguments against that being taken out of their retirement, but like, damn, like, it's either that or we stop putting or we start having some serious fucking accountability where these fuckers go to jail for real. Not like high profile cases where you get like once in a blue moon you get some like accountability. Nah. Police won't feel the heat, the taxpayers. Yep. Taxpayers worried about crime being robbed blind. Yep. Well, no reparations from California then. Newsom seems to be very lukewarm to that, Michael Hester. So I don't know if he's gonna end up doing anything about that or not. We'll keep an eye out. Our favorite Democratic senator, Manchin, vows to oppose all Biden's EPA nominees over the climate plan. Senator Manchin, chair of the Senate Energy Committee, and coal baron, said Wednesday he would oppose every Biden administration nominee for EPA in anticipation of a radical regulation the agency is expected to propose Thursday, regulating emissions from fossil fuel plants that are driving climate change. I'm starting to not believe in voodoo people. No matter what I do to this doll, nothing happens to Manchin. Hello, Memo. GOP is tying that into the debt ceiling argument. What, reparations? The EPA is expected to unveil a sweeping proposal on Thursday to slash greenhouse gas pollution from the nation's thousands of power plants, requiring sharp pollution cuts from plants burning coal or natural gas. Coal. Coal. Interesting. Coal. You know. A vested interest of Senator Manchin. The country's two biggest electricity sources. But it's clean! It's expected to hasten the closure of many aging coal plants, which are predominantly power sourced in Manchin's home state of West Virginia. We need Fetterman type candidate, if only. It is expected to hasten the closure of many aging coal plants, which are the predominant power source in Manchin's home of West Virginia. This administration is determined to advance its radical climate agenda and has made it clear that they are hell-bent on doing everything in their power to regulate coal and gas-fueled power plants out of existence, no matter what the cost to energy security and reliability. No. What's costing us even worse problems is these things continuing to exist. I fear that this administration's commitment to their extreme ideology overshadows their responsibility to ensure long-lasting energy and economic security, and I will oppose all EPA nominees until they halt their government overreach. Jesus, this is fucking indistinguishable from fucking Republican talking points. This is indistinguishable. And like, if you really want to ensure long-lasting energy, and economic security, I don't know, man. Maybe we shouldn't rely on something like fossil fuels. I'm just saying. We've got a fucking sun that's gonna last billions of years. How about that for long-lasting energy? Everything will eventually end? I don't know what that means. Even after all this time, the sun does not say to the moon, "You owe me." Look at what happens when you with love like that. It means all life, all energy will end. Okay. Anyways. Manchin is up for re-election in 2024, but has not yet announced whether he'll run again. Shall we log off and go listen to My Chemical Romance? Yeah, I will in about like 5 seconds. Has not announced whether he'll run again. He has been in constant battle with the administration in recent weeks as he seeks to distance himself from its aggressive climate agenda. Oh, yeah, dude. Aggressive climate agenda. Like, I don't know, expanding permits for drilling? Nuclear weapons are a bigger concern than fossil fuels are. No, not really. Not at this point in time. India has Hindu nationalists that control them, and they are scary. We have white nationalists that are the same, so I don't know. Yeah, big climate getting in the way of Joe Manchin. True. He has criticized this administration. Russian and nukes are, so you won't notice what corporations are doing and stealing. You have a cat video due? True. Okay, would you prefer more Nagasaki and Hiroshima events and Earth becoming progressively more intoxicated by fossil fuels? If a nuclear event happened, none of it matters. So yeah. But you're implying that we should just like not focus on this problem. Which is the problem I'm discussing. It just seems like when you talk, when you make comments like that, it just feels like then you just don't want to really address the problem at hand right now. He has criticized the administration's execution of the Inflation Reduction Act, a climate and energy security law that he helped write, while threatening to join Republicans in voting to repeal the law. Manchin has also joined Republicans in supporting resolutions they've brought up for a vote disapproving the administration's energy and environmental policies, including last month's vote when he was the only Democrat to join with Republicans to support overturning an EPA regulation on emissions from heavy-duty trucks. You never answered my question. Why did you steal Sam Cedars' backdrop? I didn't. He stole it from me. It's not that I don't want to address it. It's that people are being killed by nuclear weapons that shouldn't exist as a bigger... What? It's that people being killed by nuclear weapons that shouldn't exist as a bigger concern. I just don't... I just don't agree. And like, it's kind of odd to say like, in the discussion of like, you know, the climate crisis, to be like, well, no, they didn't say people are being killed. Anyways, yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like we're talking about like the climate crisis, like, well, you know, have you considered like this other problem? Are fossil fuels a bigger problem than nuclear weapons? Are nuclear weapons currently being launched right now? No. Yes, a red herring. Thank you. It's a red herring. They have been launched, and they've caused more environment damage than fossil fuels have. Wait. Nukes have been launched? Oh man, this is fucking breaking news to me. And they have caused more environmental damage than the collective of fossil fuels? No, I'm talking about the here and now, bro. That's just incorrect. The damage to not only humans but the environment don't even compare to the compound effects that fossil fuels have had. Like, it's not even close. Like, this is just... Dude, alright, listen, bro. Not today, alright? Not today. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Exponentially more people have died from fossil fuels. I mean, like, it's... I don't know, like, exponentially, but, like, it's just, like, obvious on the surface. The compound amount of damage that fossil fuels have done versus, like, the horrific bombings, atomic bombings. It's just not comparable. It's just not comparable. The EPA Administrator Michael Regan, testifying before the House Energy and Commerce Committee, emphasizes the agency's pending rule would be designed to give the power sector maximum flexibility to use technologies such as carbon capture to meet emission limits set by the regulation. Carbon capture is bullshit. If you can't control your emotions and do proper research, you imbecile, then find a new job. You suck at this. Yeah, you know, fuck off. Fucking clown. I love how, like, these people, like, always go into your fucking whispers to try to get that one little dig at the end. Anyways. Back to the grown-ups table. Manchin's threat to oppose all EPA nominees could be fairly minimal. There are 2 pending EPA nominees before the Senate: Joe Goffman to run the air office and David Ullman to helm the enforcement office. Both advanced out of committee in April, and Ullman on a voice vote and Goffman on a party line vote. 8 million die each year from pollution of fossil fuels. Yep. They shouldn't be able to message you if you ban them. That would be nice. But no, you can just block them. But trolls like this usually just go away on their own. Manchin had not previously taken a public position on Goffman, but had been expected to oppose him because of his work writing climate regulations during the Obama and Biden administration. Cool. Thanks, Manchin. Listen, I got something for you, okay?
Debate me. Enter the ring of logic and reason. If I don't know what I'm talking about and you point that out, that's an ad hominem, baby. Your argument's been demolished. If I say something heinous and that makes you angry, that's an emotional argument, and I win. You're going up against the titan of the mind. So you don't want a free exchange of ideas? Isn't that what society's all about? You're never gonna change my mind, but a bunch of dumbasses online will think I won. Why don't you want to debate? Please debate me. Oh, come on, please debate me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Haha. Biden fucked us with bipartisan bullshit, set up Manchin position to be offered huge bribes to do this shit? Probably. How can you simulate oil production, you ask? Will I explode a nuke in there? True. There you go. Yikes. Alright, folks, we did it. We got through all the headlines. Look at that. Oh, I owe somebody a cute animal video. Alright, let's do that before we go. Aww. cute. I've seen this video. This video's hilarious. Cat thinks it's a bunny.
Samantha, how do you feel about your little baby pouch? You love it?
Aww.
You love
What
it?
did you walk into? Cute animal videos. Aww.
치 주세요. 자.
It's adorable. Alright. That's adorable. Alright, folks. We did it. You're right, Creepy and Show and Soothsayer. It's all new to me. Posada bot is a automatic bot that's essentially a automatic troll fighter. Alright? I'm immune to Q, but I know what it really is. There you go. This is about endangered species. I wasn't complaining at the cuties. I just thought this was politics. It is. Congrats getting through another one. Yep, it is politics. It's just that channel points can be used to redeem certain things. Like, for example, if you have enough channel points, you can redeem to watch a cute animal video. If you redeem certain channel points, you can, like, redeem it to get a dab. Like, I'll dab on stream. There's another channel point that makes me, forces me to, like, get a, make up a rift on the spot with a ukulele or something like that. Mandolin, I think I have the other channel point. So, yes, it is a politics channel. We do news, we do politics Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. But you can also, like, redeem channel points to do different things. Since I'm going to take it on the surface that you are new, especially if you are new to Twitch, if you've never been, like, on a Twitch stream or anything like that, you can do, like, multiple, different things depending on how the streamer sets it up. I'm still waiting for the remove the beanie redeem. Oh yeah, you can also highlight your message like that. I'm wondering around Twitch, like a lost child. Yeah, if you're new to Twitch, yeah, it's a different world. I'm waiting for the remove the beanie redeem. That should be a channel point where I do, like, a stream without my beanie, or, like, if somebody redeems it, only one person can redeem it, and I'll make it like a super high channel point cost. And then, like, for the remainder of the stream, I won't wear the beanie if you redeem it or something. Yeah, maybe I could do that. Ocean's Cat, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Should ADT remove his beanie? Yeah, like you can even redeem a poll. Wandering around here. There we go. You have my follow. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, we're gonna do this last thing. Should ADT remove his beanie? There you go. You have 2 minutes, folks. Trump was found liable. Yep. Did he stop? No. The poll is still going. Oh, it's a 50-50 poll. Maybe my phone was too enthusiastic. Well, Twitch breaks on its own. I'll give you that. Akron states you need a hydra modesty, brother. Oh, what do I do if it's a 50-50 split? Refresh to the rescue. Yeah, if you have issues with Twitch, then you gotta refresh. One more can break the time. Violate TOS. No, thank you. Is there gonna be a tiebreaker? It is a literal 50-50 split. It is a literal 50-50 split. The quantum beanie how do I do this? Like, is there like a simultaneously like take off the beanie and not? I can't vote now. I don't think I can vote, but I voted yes. In spirit. Tune in the next week to find out. True. Yeah, Schrodinger's beanie. There you go. All right, Schrodinger's beanie. Trust me, on my YouTube channel, there is evidence of what power of what power emanates if I remove the beanie. Okay. But yes, I will add that to the to the points, okay? I will add that to the points. All right, folks, it is 7:30. I do have to get going. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out. Thank you so much, Michael Hassler. Thank you, Heat, for keeping it cool in the chat. Thank you to all the new follows. Thank you for the biddies and support. Thank you for the subscriptions. You guys are what makes this channel grow. If you guys enjoy the content, do like what these wonderful folks did. Hit the follow button. We are here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We do the news. We do the politics. Spread the word. If you can't, I reckon you have an ancient monk hairdo. No, I don't. I promise. If you guys want to support the channel but can't monetarily, head on over to the YouTube channel, as 229 of you have already done, and hit the subscribe button. Spread the word far and wide. We'll be here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow. See ya! I'll be there. Hey, thank you. All right, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Michael Hasters. See ya. I always seem to join as the stream ends. It's all good. It's all good. You can always watch the replays or, tomorrow. See ya.